So come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. We've got a gorgeous, gorgeous day here in northern Bavaria. And it's very dark gray and chilly outside. But, hey, if you're an artist like me, when it's overcast like that and cloudy, there's no sun bleaching of colors, right? You don't get this yellow hue over everything. You see the green for the green, the red for the red, the blue for the blue. It's just so amazingly intense, and so that's always a plus, right? And today we're having a Spanish wine. This is a 2015, and this is a Protos. This is a reserve piece here. It is absolutely wonderful on the nose. I can tell you it's got a deep, deep, deep cherry red color, a gorgeous platinum halo where the wine meets the crystal. And on the palate, we have kind of a plum and blackberry, whereas on the nose, we've definitely got like some black fruit and vanilla. The oak comes through. It's definitely a sun-kissed beauty, and I would say it's more tannic. It's bolder. It's very dry, and it's higher on the acids as far as that goes. This is about a €30 bottle of wine, and you can bet that it would be fabulous with just about anything out there. Maybe food's a little bit on the fat side, but beautiful, beautiful wine. It's been sitting in I got a couple of bottles here, and it's been sitting in there for 10 years, and it uncorked beautifully. So, Cin-Cin. So, you get rid of my white light here. Just a gorgeous color. And our wind down with Christopher and the New York Times Crossword word of the day is to apricate. Simply put, this just means to bask in the sun. And when you've got a wife like I do, who just landed back in DFW today or yesterday while I was sleeping. Time zones are so weird, aren't they? One of the first things she posted on social media was a beautiful sunset she was getting to pick up there in at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So I know what it means to be married to someone who loves to apricate. So that said, why don't we hop into our grid here today? I'm working on my postures, always trying to make a good impression on everybody. Lead from the front, so to speak. But we have the wordplay crossword column. The headline says is positive swings. And it says Daniel Trujillo Diaz makes his New York Times crossword debut. So good on Daniel Trujillo Diaz. Let's see what we've got for Wednesday, October 8th. Let's go jump into our hump day grid. Let's do it. And by the way, if you wouldn't mind, if you could please just maybe hit the like button for me. It would really do great things for the algorithm. And I would certainly appreciate it if you haven't already, if you would subscribe, because I'd like to have you around. It's free, after all. So, wow, let's do that. So a Petri dish growth medium would be agar, generally speaking. It shares a 27-mile border with 27 across. Is this an I? That didn't really help, did it? 23andMe mailing. This is a K, fashion designer, Spade, going with Kate. And so I feel now more than ever that this is going to be a DNA kit, which I did once. Found a half-brother and 2 half-sisters. And pretty cool, right? Just pretty cool. So I think we've got Iran here going across with Armenia. And to all of my Armenian friends out there with the very cool last names, I'm jealous of you in a major way. Requires, perhaps needs. Get that correct in there. Helpful skill for guessers. Ooh. You should be getting me some of that. Will Ruby go to prom with me? Okay. Erupting hot springs. How about geysers? So, have you ever seen one of those things going off? I think we were at Yellowstone, or maybe we saw one also, maybe up in another national park, maybe. I want to say it was like maybe Devil's Den or something in Arkansas, but I don't remember if that was a geyser, if it was just that we were near the hot springs. I don't know. I repeat, will Ruby go to prom with me? Okay. Don't know what the heck that is going on. New and improved for a limited time only. Ad speak. You know, I used to do ad speak for a living. And it was a fun career that got cut short by 9/11. But I really did have a good time designing logos and writing jingles and scripting TV commercials and directing them. I mean, it was just fun stuff. A lot of work. You were really always at work or with a client, but gosh, those were the days. Kanga's Kid and Winnie the Pooh, and we're going with Roo, so we got a redo here. Overhaul, yes, and I haven't got a clue. Positive swings. Is this a pea, black-eyed, or sugar snap legume that we call peas? Okay. It's really more of a bean, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think our positive swings are ups. So truth's alternative. There's kind of a trick question in here. Par for a Wednesday for sure. I think that might be dare. Let's check it out. Turns red say, ooh, where volleyball and racquetball were invented in brief. European capital with canals, and you know what? Venice is too short, so let's go with Amsterdam. Shotzi and I have had more fun in Amsterdam and in Venice, for that matter. Love both of those cities, I really do, but if I had to choose one, I'd have a hard time. I'd be very happy living in either. I think volleyball and racquetball may have been invented at the YMCA, maybe? So I think this is going to be Diaz, turns red. And demonym subject would be maybe ease. Which is kind of a demonym, right? You know, it's a very interesting word. You know, you could say that, well, you know, like a linguistic suffix, right? Like, you know, legal ease, something to do with language, etc. But, you know, we also got, like, you know, where are you from? I'm from Japan. I am therefore Japanese, right? You know, or the word the ITE editing would be another one, right? You know, I'm a Dallasite, you know, or an Austinite, or you know, however all that works. It's a very interesting word. I happen to just love that one very much. Let's see. My sources say no. Are we talking about an 8-ball here? Elm and maple are common ones with streets. Elder son of Isaac, Esau. Despicable Me protagonist. I've never seen Despicable Me, but I've seen this in the crossword so much. I think this is Gru. Martini or Negroni spirit would be a gin. I've had them all. I can relate. I can relate to the gin search for sure. I've had them all. Jean Marie, Hendrix, you know, Tank. You know, I think I've tried every single one of them that's out there. Always looking for something, you know, the next great thing. I've really fell in love with Tanqueray. And I really like Hendrix, but at the end of the day, I'm just fine with Gordon's. The Queen drank Gordon's. Why can't I? You know, so. Comics dog with a big red tongue. And I have no idea. Is that Odie maybe? I have no clue. Something you can be under when in court could be an oath. And then we might have Odie here from Garfield fame. Go extinct. Maybe die out or die off. Either way, we'll have an O here. So let's see, we have a U or an F here. Swiss Army knives have many of these going for uses. Yes, all right, I like it. Conference USA. So, yeah, I'm thinking we might have a magic 8-ball here. So ask again later. I did. I loved, that was probably the only toy that I ever truly loved. Loved. After Stretch Armstrong, of course. And of course I had to find out what was inside of him. And then I didn't have a Stretch Armstrong anymore. But I gotta tell you, I love my magic 8-ball. So I'm gonna say my sources say no. Watch me be wrong as all get out. I'll be fine with that though, but I just feel like this is what we're going for. Ask again later. Third time's the charm. Will Ruby go to prom with me? Receipts could be the gate. Decrease in intensity could be to abate. Not to be confused with apricate. Third time's the charm. Is this the without a doubt? Official authorization could be a warrant. If you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in. Bum, bum, bum. NEWRS, sometimes maybe direction. C. Elaborate could be to add. Solfege, start, going with do, re, mi. Do, a deer, a female deer. So, pico de gallo. Pico de gallo. Let's see. Like souffles, could be a bit eggy, which there's no such thing as too eggy for me. I just love eggs. I do. Tundras and deserts, as an example, could be biomes. Oh. Eye problem, a sty. Bog could be to mire. Yeah, well, and here we go. So I think we do, and we can fit that in there. Magic 8-ball. This is very, very clever, Daniel Trujillo Diaz. Well done. I mean, what a cool grid. Course for becoming bilingual for short. Probably English is a second language. Completely immersed, maybe engrossed. Prefix with morphic. Oh, probably isomorphic. Ugh. A 2-1 record has 1 loss. Well, I tell you what, TCU's got 1 loss this year, and that's awful. 10 and up preceder, ages 10 and up. You must be this high to ride this ride. Degrees of success for short. Oh, okay. Well, let's do it. Harry Halloween costume would be an ape, and scrutinize would maybe to vet. Author of L'Île Mystérieuse. I do believe we're talking about Verne. Could be wrong there. Familiar-ish. So we could die out here, which would give us a PTA group that may have an organizational meeting in September. We'll get after it, late bloomers. You should probably do that in August. Or whatever you do that, I don't know. Cries of enlightenment. Aha! Okay, I'm tracking now. The Pequod captain would be Ahab. Call me Ishmael. Somewhat could be a tad. And I think we got without a doubt. So, Ariana, I think that's DeBose. West Side Story. Set Fire to the Rain, 2011 would be Adele. Yeah, let's see. Michael of Superbad, and is that Syrah? Syrah? I don't know. Grouch could be a crab. Eddie's, of course. Trampled, maybe ran over. Take in, maybe to absorb. Absorb. Boy, I tell you what, I've been doing awful today with my typing. Lacking principles, could be amoral, and appliance that may have different floor settings. For short could be a vac, and more than 2,000 years ago for short would be before the common era. I've always used BCE and CE. You know, why offend anyone? You know, I mean, it's at the same time, it's just really just habitual, really, for me. I don't know. I've written a lot of science papers and stuff. You know, it's just, yeah. But I guess it's really not all that commonly known, you know. Encourage with on. I have no idea. Brouhahas could be uproars. That P tells me that we probably got a spur up here to spur on. Let's try it. And a place to buy a fur at Christmas would be a tree lot. And hey, over here. Psst. Okay, got it. Noggin knock. Okay, so this is the bop. You know, Silent Evie was teaching me all about booping. You can boop like a cat's nose to be like cute and friendly, like oh boop boop, something like that, right? So I learned something from you, and I appreciate that more than anything. I love it when you give me a piece of, you know, like this little grains of knowledge that are so useful, right? Double stuffed cookie. I was looking at that thinking, did I misspell tree lot? Is it supposed to be an orca? We seem to get so many orcas these days, but no, we're going back to the Oreos here. So Beethoven's Ode de Joy, and so we would have bundles for dresses warmly with up, and I hope we didn't fat finger anything, but how did we do, Bob? Well, I didn't get hoisted by my petard today, at least with my fat fingering episodes, which seem to be happening more often than not. When I'm not doing a lot of typing at work, communicating, you know, like, you know, emails, etc., you know, it seems like when I'm out and about, or I'm walking or rounding, just talking with patients, doing stuff like that, it seems like those are the days that I don't, and that's what my day was basically. So those are the days that I don't do a lot of typing, and then I get here and all of a sudden I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So, Daniel Trujillo Diaz, this is a fantastic puzzle. Love the Iran-Armenia confluence there, if you will. My sources say no, ask again later, without a doubt, and the magic 8 ball. And as soon as I think I kind of put it together with my sources, and then I saw that we had 5 blanks, it was definitely going to be there. There was quite a few really clever little Easter eggs in here today, if you will. I love the solfège start. I just love it when we use musical notation, vocabulary. I just really dig that an awful lot. Not only as a musician, but it's just really just kind of spices up a grid to me. And yeah, of course, it's always good to see Adele. Loved seeing Mystérieuse in here, and the whole puzzle was just an absolute joy. My mind's kind of racing, like, how am I going to dress up the thumbnail for this video? Because Daniel Trujillo Diaz knocked this one out of the ballpark. This is what you want a Wednesday to be. If I've got any, well, I know we've got quite a few beginning solvers here with us, and I gotta tell you, this is a great one. If you've been at it for a couple of weeks, you know, and you're kind of getting the feel, this is a good one to jump into, right? You know, start developing the vocabulary, but not only that, but looking for those patterns, starting to recognize the patterns that occur and what's more likely than not to be in the next cell as you're spelling something out and what have you. But just a beautiful grid all the way around. So, Daniel Trujillo Diaz, muy bien. Mira los colores de mi vida. I absolutely love it. So we'll bring down our Benny Dad do. And I just want to say, first of all, again, Protos, beautiful one. Gosh, I mean, it is just fabulous. So this is one of those that maybe more of a special occasion kind of a wine, but nevertheless, it is one worthy of that 30 euros, I can promise you, right? So if you've got a big date or something like that coming up, or you're going to a house party, to a dinner party, something like that, that you really want to take something nice, this is the one to take. It's really fantastic. And until we see you tomorrow, again, thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of this community. My name is Christopher, and I'm delighted that you're here, and it just means the world to me. So thank you for that. And until we see you tomorrow, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, adios, que tengas un lindo días, and arrivederci. Be well out there. Be nice to strangers, as always, of course, right? And it's really good to keep in mind that when we're trying to communicate with someone whose English is a little off and have a very, very strong accent, that you're actually talking to someone with un cœur de lion, the heart of a lion, someone who is really, really very brave and trying to set up a new life or just visit a new place where they don't speak the lingua franca, right? And so it's always in the attitude for everything we do in life, right? There were many, many times in life where we had no money, but we were never poor. It's all a mindset. Be well. Cheers.